all of you would love to participate and also share some experience.
Welcome, Rose. Since we
Thank
are
you.
getting very close to the hour, Andy, you have to host control. If you can go ahead and change Madam Sam's name to
Carol,
Glenda.
otherwise, can you mute Carol?
And everyone else, and Andy, you can mute everybody. You have to host control.
Okay.
And then David, you can unmute your.
I just muted you, Roger.
Let's see.
Okay.
Let's.
Roger, I just unmuted you. I'm sorry I cut you off.
Nope, you're fine. David, all yours.
All right. So we always warn people up front that this meeting will be recorded. Are you seeing my screen or not? No.
Yes.
David, you're muted.
Okay. I'm muted.
I was just saying that this is the club where we learn how to deal with technology and malfunctions in technology and recovering from malfunctions with technology. Welcome to Online Presenters Toastmasters. This is a club that is dedicated to learning skills for better webinars and online events of all sorts. We do want to say a word of thanks to Ring Central for allowing us to use this platform at no cost. They want us to let you know that Ring Central is winning in the cloud and taking over online communications. There's some etiquette and logistical things that you should know. It's a good idea to mute yourself when you're not speaking. The mute, unmute controls should be in the lower left-hand corner. You can also turn off your video if you need to sneeze or do some other distracting sort of thing. And there's a button in the upper right-hand corner that switches the view between the gallery view where you see everybody and the active speaker view where you see the person who is actively speaking at that moment. If you are speaking, watch the time. It can be difficult to keep track of the timer's feed. So they may be holding up cards or doing fancy things with backgrounds turning green and yellow and red, and you're not seeing it. So it's a good idea to have your own timer handy. The Toastmasters app works well for that so that you have another way of keeping track. You can also ask for an audible cue, like having the timer tap on a wine glass. My wife just took away the wine glass from my office. She said, "Why is there a wine glass in here?" I couldn't explain, so I had to give it back. If you, at the end of this meeting, are not discouraged, you may decide that you want to become a member. There is a Join tab on the front of our website that has the applications, has forms you can fill out to pay. We do want to let you know that this is an advanced club, so by default, we look for people who have more than 6 Toastmaster speeches. But if you have other kinds of experience, if you're a teacher or a presenter, and you want to be a member, you can make a quick speech about why you want to join and why you would be an asset to the club, and it's very likely that you might get voted in. With that, it is showtime. I will stop sharing, and Andy can take it away.
All right. Everyone should be able to hear me, and everybody that's not supposed to be speaking should mute themselves. We have a few more people that arrive. We have Joy, if you can spend the word 30 seconds or so introducing yourself. First, take yourself off mute.
Hello, everybody. I just joined a week ago this club. Right now I am in Arizona in Flagstaff. And next week I will be joining from Denmark in Europe. I keep commuting between these 2 continents.
Okay, very good. Carol, could you introduce yourself?
Carol Borhinsky. I'm hanging out in Michigan, and I am recovering from a cold, so don't get too close, okay? It just take it, leave some space, and you'll be okay. Yeah, exactly. Good to be here.
Okay, Elaine joined us.
Hi there, I'm Elaine Nieberding from Maryland. I joined Online Presenters in May of last year. New to Toastmasters, but had some online presentation skills, so they let me in. I love this group. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Doug Mara, you just joined us from Quebec, right?
Hi, Quebec, Montreal. Bonjour. Hello, everyone. I hope you're great. I'm not so great. We had -20 today here.
Oh my God. 9 here.
Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Chiquita?
Good evening. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Glad to be here. Really excited about the meeting and look forward to learning more about speaking. Back to you.
Okay, Rolando? Take yourself off mute. Good.
Hello, everybody. My name is Orlando Goldman. I'm in Palm Beach, Florida, with 70 degrees weather right now. And I'm glad to be here tonight. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Okay. Peggy?
Hi, Peggy Klauser, and not quite as warm, Clarksburg, West Virginia at 35 degrees.
Wow.
Glad to be here.
I'm glad everybody's here. You couldn't do this meeting unless you had the team, the Village of Helpers. So I'm going to introduce the villagers, and if your role has changed, let me know. For the odd counter, we have Sunny. Can you tell us about the odd counter?
Hi, is Jacinta still doing it?
Yes, I am.
I thought so.
Okay.
All right. So, Chiquita, I'm sorry.
That's okay, Mr. Toastmaster. So this is Jacinta, and yes, today I will be working with the team to help improve your speeches. Looking for words that are fillers, and, so, you know. Those are the words that I'll be looking for, and I'll make a report at the end of the day, at the end of the meeting, to go over that, and I'll be using the Toastmasters application to document those findings as well. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much. Peggy, you're listed as the timer.
Yes. As the timer, I will keep track of the speeches and the amount of time for each speech, as well as the table topics. This is to help improve everyone's time management skills and to keep the meeting going on time and in order. Thank you.
Welcome. Grammarian is listed as Angela. Can you tell us what you do as grammarian?
Yes, yes. I'm Angie, and I will be listening for any extremely educated sounding words, and to see who's using the table topic of the day and who's stretching themselves in terms of their vocabulary.
Okay. The watcher today is Lewis Brown. Can you tell us what you do, Lewis?
Certainly, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. As watcher, my job is to keep an eye on everyone to see that everyone is pretty much paying attention, not kind of fussing with their hair, something I can't do, or otherwise doing distracting body language while our speakers are speaking and so forth. And also to just kind of make some observations on backgrounds, things like that. Mr. Toastmaster.
Okay. Roger had his hand up. Did you want to say something, Roger?
Word of the day, please.
Word of the day is compromise. The theme is working together. Okay. The vote counter is Jim Barber.
Hi, everybody. As vote counter tonight, my duty is to count votes. If you are a voter, then you should use the chat room at the appropriate time to send me a private message with the vote that you wish to cast. If you are a votee, you follow the same procedure, but send me your MasterCard, Visa information, your Bitcoin account, or whatever works. At the end of the meeting, I will announce the winners with a minimum of corruption and absolutely no compromise. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Jim. The chat monitor today is Norman. Can you tell us what the chat monitor does?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. I'll be monitoring the chat, the back channel communications, and summarizing whatever I see that is of note that I can present to the entire meeting. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Sounds great. This takes us to our prepared speeches. The first one is Viviana. I do not have your introduction. If you want to do your introductions before we start the time, that's fine. Viviana?
Yes, I thought I just update my role introduction before the meeting.
I did not receive it.
Okay, it's okay.
If you want to do your own introduction and then tell the timer when to start.
Oh, the first slide is my introduction. The first slide. Okay.
So you want to share your slides then with the group?
Okay.
Andy, there's a question from the timer about when the lights should go. Will you?
Okay. Timer's report. Viviana is listed as 15 minutes max. Correct, Viviana?
10 to 12 minutes, project number 3.
Okay. 10 to 12 minutes total?
Yes.
So green would be 10, yellow would be 11, and 12 would be red, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So you got that, timer?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Go ahead, Viviana. You have the floor.
Can I break in for just a second? Do we have an evaluator for Viviana?
Should be Ryan.
Okay. All right, thanks. Go ahead.
Okay, can I start now?
Yes.
All right. So, hello, my name is Viviana. I'm here today and I would like to introduce a marketing funnel to all of you. So, about my background is I'm a coach consultant. So, I learn coaching and I learn also marketing, internet marketing, which I apply them for myself and help my clients to build their business online using the system of a marketing funnel. So you can find me at my website, vivianaandrew.com. My website name is a little bit different from my name. And why do I choose the topic of marketing funnel? Because I have a love and hate relationship with marketing. I dislike pressure selling or cold calling. And I love marketing if I find my ideal client. So I try to find easy way to market online using a marketing funnel. And I hope that by the end of this presentation, my sharing will benefit you if you are working independently like me and you want to market your business or career online. Okay, recently I had a market survey for small business owner and I asked them 2 questions. One is, what is their biggest frustration? And the second one is, what is the dream solution? The most response I received is finding clients or customer. And the dream solution is also easy way to find clients without pressure selling. So if you have the magic wand, what will be the dream solution? Most small business owner will answer, finding clients easily without pressure selling. So who agree with me? Raise your right hand. Great. In my opinion, it's not just finding any clients, but finding ideal clients who are grateful to your products or service is the dream solution. So who will agree with finding ideal clients? Raise both hands. Great. Now I go to the topic marketing funnel. What is marketing funnel? So as you can see, the marketing funnel is like a bridge for building relationship to attract people to become your potential clients. So by building relationship, we don't just hope they become clients, we hope them to become loyal clients who will become our messenger and bring referrals to our business. So I will elaborate 3 simple stages in marketing funnel. First is lead generation, or to create awareness about our existence, about our products or services. Second is lead nurture, to build interest, to get them to be interested to know our product or services. And the third stage is sales. So if they pass these 2 second stages, it will be likely they consider to purchase our products or services. So the first stage is the lead generation. This is a process of attracting a potential customer to come to our website. So what is the magic of lead generation? Is to build a list. As you can see here, to build a long list of potential customers. So how can we build a list? So if we provide a value or free offer, in this information age, we can share our knowledge or information in the form of report, ebook in PDF, or even video or audio, and we exchange them with their name and email. So in practice, the lead generation looks like this. So this is like my free offer in my website to educate them to get to know about coaching. So I give them a book of coaching in PDF if they want to fill in their name and email. And I don't keep their name and email by myself. It goes automatically to MailChimp, email marketing software, and you can sign up for free. You can use it for free. There are paid and free offers. And the second is lead nurture. Lead nurture is, so you have a list. What do you want to do with your list? In lead nurture, we try to build interest, to build relationship with them. So we need to send emails to them. Tell them, hi, I'm Viviana. So you have signed up with my list. Now I'm going to share some information. So it is not just selling, right? Sometimes you want to invite them to your webinar or events. So is email are working to build relationship? Maybe you have wondered. So prior to our marriage, yeah, we built a long distance relationship through email. So I live in Indonesia and my husband live in Malaysia. So we are building relationship via email. And then the last stage is sales. In this sales is when your customers say yes or I do to your offer. So the proof is marriage certificate. So how do you want to generate sales automatically? So you need to have sales page. So in sales page, what do you need to have? So you need to tell them what they will get in their when they purchase your product or services. And people love bonus. So if you can give bonus, it will be more attractive to your potential customers. And of course, do not forget that you need to have add to cart or buy now button. So where the payment goes to PayPal. So you need to set up a payment with PayPal, especially if you intend to sell the digital products internationally. So this is an example of my simple sales page. So I explain what they get. They get a video done for them. And then I also have a buy now button, which links to PayPal. And the last is I have a proof of work. So the work that I did for my customers. And then so I will summarize that the 3 stages in marketing funnel. They build awareness through lead generations. So when they come into our funnel, we nurture them. We call it the stage of lead nurture. So when they build interest, sometimes they reply to your email. So they will ask questions further. And the third stage is sales, when they will consider to buy your product or services. And then what you get if you are using a marketing funnel is you build a pool of potential customers. So this is like you have your treasure box. So when you have information or you have new product, you just email to them, right? So when they have consideration to buy your product, that's the magic happen. You make sale. So I think that if you don't use the marketing funnel, you can compromise your business if you are not building your business online, because in this internet age, right, everybody is building their business online. So if I still have time, maybe you want to ask questions, because this project number 3 allow you to ask questions.
Yes, you still have some time.
How many minutes?
About a minute and a half.
Okay.
Viviana, this is Sunny. What do you love about coaching?
What do I love about coaching? If I love about coaching is I can help my clients to get the clarity, and I also find fulfillment by connecting with one-to-one coaching. Does it answer your question, Sunny?
Yeah. It's almost like our theme, teamwork making the dream work, right?
Any other question?
I have a question.
Yes, who's
Angie? Angie?
Yes, Angie.
What are the different industries of some of your existing clients? I imagine you have people in a few different industries.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. My niece is currently in the health and wellness. So one of my long-term client is she is a health practitioner. I also have a client who have run like organic products. So I built their website. But one of my health practitioner clients, so she wants to bring the training in therapies online. So instead of she's now doing a live training in her clinic, so she wants to bring it online. And this is using marketing funnel. So she had like a giving free pain therapy. So she wants to market to other health practitioners. Does it answer your question, Angie?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, thank you.
So it's time 12 minutes, I guess so. Okay, back to you, Andy.
I had to activate myself. Thank you very much, Vivian. It was very inspiring. Our next speaker is Teresa. Correct?
Therese.
Therese. Okay.
Oops, what happened?
Are you sharing your screen?
That's not my screen. I see somebody else's screen.
Did Viviana stop sharing?
It says you cannot start screen share while the other participant is sharing.
Joy, you're sharing your screen. Thank you.
Okay, hang on. Let me try this again.
And your time on your speech?
It's about 5 minutes. So if the timer could do it's a 5 to 7 minute speech, but it's just over 5 minutes.
Okay.
So if the timer could give me an audio, that would be great.
Okay. Start whenever you're ready.
I'm ready. Go ahead. You have an introduction for me, right?
I do not have your introduction. Did you send it by email?
No, I said it's online. It was confirmed with me online.
Well, if you could read your introduction to us, because I don't have that, and the thing that I got from online, I don't have the introduction. So if you forgive me and read that, we won't time against that. Just let us know when you're finished with your introduction, and then we'll start.
Therese, as your evaluator, would you mind if I introduce you?
That would be great. Would you like my introduction?
No, I have it online.
Oh, you do? Great. That would be great. Thank you very much.
No problem. We have as our next speaker, Therese, a DTM. She is in Pathways, Level 5, Motivational Strategies, Level 4, Building Skills to Motivate Others. The title of her speech, You, the Influencer, the Advanced Club. This is a 5 to 7 minute speech. Please welcome Therese.
Oh, you didn't see there was a little bit more. Did you
There's
see
a little bit more. Let me see if I have any more. Hold on one second. That's what we love about this. Page 1. Oh, yes, there is. Therese will speak on the Motivate Others to Achieve a Goal. Hathaway's project entitled You the Influencer Advanced Speakers Club. Therese would like us to frame our thinking of motivate others to achieve a goal by considering this image representing the Knight of Fire, who has taken shape of an arrow moving with a single pointed focus. Acting with such intensity can create ripples in the waters around him. Some will feel uplifted and refreshed by his presence. Others may feel threatened or annoyed. It is a dark night, but with the intense fire of inquiry, nothing can hold him back. Please welcome Therese.
Nice job. Thank you, Louise. And fellow Toastmasters and most welcomed guests. A year ago, January 2018, I was asked to revive, reinvigorate, and reinvent a 35-year-old advanced club that was in pretty dire straits. There was one member, and she wanted her money back.
Oh.
So at the 6-month point, July we received our Presidential Distinguished status. And I want to first start off with a 90-second clip of a little video that gives a feel for what the idea is in this club of you, the influencer. And I made this after we hit Presidential Distinguished. So enjoy. Oops, wait a minute, something happened. Hang on, sorry about that technology. I need to go back. I'm not sure how I do that. Hang on, something's going on wrong. I don't have a mouse. I don't have a clicker. Let me just do this one more time. Okay, we're going to try this one more time. Today's speech is about motivating others to achieve a goal. Our goal is, or my goal is to make this club reinvented and revived. As you can see, the idea of the reinvention is to take it from just an advanced club to a club that has a theme, that each theme, each meeting builds on the idea of taking us from a speaker to an influencer, so making us something a little bit different. And so I say the way that I did motivating is first through the illustration of the Night of Fire. At first it is reinventing. What does it mean to be our club? And I basically put on blinders and went as fast and as hard as I could. And that alone is my biggest way that I would say that I motivate others. And I'm sure that you may have people that you see, like our David Carr and our Mr. Roger, who are just constantly having high intensity of energy. And just because of that energy, you're really, really, motivated to join on. So a big part of the club after reinventing is to bring in those club members. And I like the illustration that comes to my mind. And this is when I was in Guatemala. They have these crazy looking buses. They're called chicken buses. And there's a driver and there's a guy, you can see him standing at the door. He's called the caller. And so in my analogy, I'm the driver and the VP of membership, he's the caller. In the Guatemalan chicken buses, The bus is continuing down the road and it doesn't stop. The caller calls people, entices them to join onto the bus, and it continues running while the people get on the bus. And if anybody does get off the bus doesn't stop. And that's the analogy, I think, that shows how we have improved and increased our membership in our club. So last year, to become Presidential Distinguished, we needed 16 members. This year, we're very close and on our way to having the 20 members we need. We already have all the points and we'll be Presidential Distinguished again. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much. At this point, we are going to go, our two presentations are done, and we're going to have a word from our timers report. Peggy, timers report on the two speeches.
For Viviana's speech, I took note of when the last question started. It was at 11:33, and her total speech was 13:05. For Teresa, hers was 6:13.
Okay, excellent. Can we hear from our table topics?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. Let's jump into our table topics right away. And today they will be all about proverbs because they allow us to express ourselves more powerfully, and they also contain some bits of wisdom. So let's get it started. Once bitten, twice shy. You say that when you're frightened to do something again because you had an unpleasant experience doing it for the first time. Roger, can you please tell us about a situation from your life when you were once bitten, twice shy?
Thank you, Madam Table Topic Master. Once beaten, twice shy. I don't quite understand it. Not because I don't understand the wording, not because I don't understand the culture, but in with my personality, there's no such thing as once bitten, twice shy. Let me relate. When I first came to this country, one of the biggest difference between Hong Kong and America is variety. Especially for a teenage boy, is the variety of females. So I went into my very first school dance. Now, mind you, I have no idea how to dance, but I asked somebody to dance with me. Guess what happened? She said no. I hung my head. My face was all red. I walked away. But then I went home? No. I lift up my head and I look. There's variety. There is no compromise for tonight. So I went and asked the second gal, and the third, and the fourth. Once bitten? Oh, I've been bitten many times. I can tell you more and relate more stories, whether it is middle school, high school, college, or as an adult. But let me just say that today I am married, and I have been married for some time. And I guess you can be bitten, but you don't have to be shy. Back to you, Madam Tabletop Master.
Thank you, Roger. That was a wonderful impromptu speech. Okay, let's go on. There is a Japanese saying that say that if you don't enter the tiger's cave, you will not catch its cub, which means that you can't do anything without risking something. Rolando, could you please tell me about a situation in your life when you had to enter the tiger's cave and catch its cup.
Madam Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmaster, and most welcome guests. Enter the tiger cage. That's what I do all the time in my profession. It's like, as an engineer, you tasked to solve problem every day. You're not sure what you're gonna encounter. So today is one problem, the next day is a different problem. That's why every day I get up, I'm getting ready to go to work. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna be doing that day, because every day is a different problem. One day it could be like something so simple. The next day could be a problem that's so aggravated that I tear my head off. I can't still solve it. I have to wait for the next day. So I'm so excited that I chose this career path, because I'm always learning and growing, because with technology and the way things are going, you're always going to be learning. It's a lifelong learning process. So I'm always looking forward to enter the tiger cage. I'm Table Topic Master.
Wonderful. We have very brave men in our club. Let's see what ladies can tell about another saying. This time we have a Polish one. In Poland, we say that someone stick you in a bottle when he pulled your leg or played a joke on you. Carol, do you recall a situation when someone stick you in a bottle?
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master. Playing a joke on me all the time. Like tonight, I was told that only my nose was showing, and I thought like it really was true, and I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I decided that I needed to expose my nose a little bit further, so I moved in real close, and they said, no, that's all that's showing. And so I moved way back, and well, you get the message. So yes, people put me in a bottle all the time, and they see me as gullible and an opportunity to tease me, harass me, and make fun of me. And I fall for it every time. I'm not exactly sure I'm not exactly sure if they're serious or not, but sometimes I think they're having fun with me. So I say yes. Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Carol. And I want to ask if we have time for the last one to our Mr. Toastmaster of the Day.
No.
No, we're done.
No, we're done. Okay.
Okay, back to you. Thank you.
So when you send in timer's report on Roger, Rolando, and Carol. Peggy?
Yes. For Roger, once bitten, twice shy. He spoke for 1 minute and 49 seconds. For Rolando, telling us when he entered a tiger's cage to take its cub, he spoke for 1 minute and 24 seconds. And for Carol, when someone stuck her into a bottle, it was 1 minute.
Okay, and the timing requirements for table topics are?
1 to 2 minutes.
Okay, with 30-second grace at the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, send in your votes for that. And now it brings us up to the general evaluator, David Carr, and he will introduce our two evaluators. Go ahead, David.
All right. So welcome to the most important part of the meeting, where we get immediate feedback to our speakers. And first up, we have Ryan Demchuk giving some feedback to Viviana.
Thank you, Mr. Evaluator, General Evaluator. I enjoyed this speech very much. I've been racking my brains a little bit about this funnels thing. And what I really enjoyed about this speech is that it was described in a way that I could finally understand it. I have a lot of internet marketer friends that talk about funnels, and I finally had an opportunity to learn it a bit. A couple of the specific things that I enjoyed about it was the way she related things like a long distance relationship. Actually showed a picture of herself and her husband. I also enjoyed the marriage comparison as well. That really made it easy for me to understand the funnels aspect of it. Really focused on benefits. I think another thing that gave credibility, because I think one specific line of work that doesn't have a lot of credibility is like salespeople, internet marketers. There's usually a bad stigma on them. And what I felt that she did really well was that she mentioned how she had a love-hate relationship with the marketing. And I think that's where I got back on board. Once I heard she was an internet marketer, my mood was kind of dropping a little bit, thinking this might be a sales speech. And then what happened was she mentioned the love-hate relationship with it. And that started to get me a little bit more intrigued. And then she mentioned the no pressure sales. And that's what I really enjoyed about that as well, is like the no pressure sales showed that she wasn't trying to push us or push anything on us. It was going to be a presentation that was going to be to our benefit, and they were going to learn something. So again, I was happy that we did learn something about the funnels. A few things that I noticed. One would be the dog barking in the background. Another one was that she didn't take the time to address the Toastmasters, like fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. That would have been nice to see. And one of the main things I think that would have brought it all together for me, especially, would be how right after the summary, and the summary was nice, it brought it back together for me. That was extra props for that. But at the end, it happened to take a bit of a turn because there was not really a planned exit out of that speech. It was more or less just getting a little bit nervous, giggling a little bit, and then leading into a question and answer period, which I believe that she handled quite well, because even one of the questions was about coaching, and I'm not too sure the speech was directed in that was going in that direction. It was more toward what she was talking about as far as funnels and the marketing process. So I think that those questions were handled quite well, and then she kept track of time. I think that was definitely appreciated, especially with a longer speech. It's definitely appreciated when there's a longer speech and you take that time to make sure that you're not going over and stretching into everybody's time. So I don't want to do that as well. So I'll end it as that was an awesome speech, and I enjoyed learning about funnels and that method, and I hope to hear her again.
David, do you want to introduce the next evaluator?
Yes, as soon as I can find the unmute button. Our second evaluator, evaluating Therese, will be Lois Margolin. Lois.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, my fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests, and especially Therese. The influencer, advanced clubs. This was a speech about motivating others. I have to tell you, I loved that night in the beginning, and I can understand why you wanted your introduction to be read, because it was so incredibly powerful. Therese is a distinguished Toastmaster, so she knows her stuff, and you were not rattled when the technology had some issues. You just backed up and came forward. Fabulous job on that. Your vocal variety, wonderful. You really know how to become that influencer. I found the screens were riveting, though some might have been going a little too fast because I couldn't read all the words and I felt like I was supposed to. But I understood the message that create a theme every week and it will help build the momentum. There were some things that I really, really liked about the speech, which was I loved the slides. I thought that they really added a lot, even though I couldn't read them all, and I'm one of those people that like to. I loved your voice throughout this, and I loved your passion, how strongly you felt about coaching this club to go from 1 member to 16 members in such a short period of time. What I would have liked to have understood a little bit better was, what were you motivating me to do? I think by the middle of it, I got, you're motivating me to sign up to be a coach. Perhaps you're motivating me that I can do anything if I'm willing to do it. I wasn't 100% sure because that piece of the speech, I think, got muddled in some of the technology pieces. I also would have liked a little bit stronger ending. And as I pictured this whole thing, and I was so moved by some of your statements, the bus driver, the vice president of membership, I thought you did a really good job. I would have liked to have heard the ending, a repeat of the beginning, that the night of fire acting with such intensity can create ripples in the waters around him. Some will feel uplifted and refreshed by his presence. Others may feel threatened or annoyed. Nothing can hold him back. What's holding you back? And I would have liked that as a stronger ending, but it was great. I loved it. Thank you so much for sharing it. And I might ask you for a copy of that photo because I really enjoyed it. Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Lois. Now let's hear from some of our functionaries, some of our reports. Can we have a report from our grammarian for this evening? Grammarian was Angela.
I misunderstood. Okay, so as a grammarian, thank you, Mr. Toast. Wait, I'm sorry.
General Evaluator.
There it is. Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Thank you. Yes, in listening to everybody tonight, I noticed a little bit of incomplete sentences. We're all thinking and talking at the same time, me included. It's most difficult to slow down and think about what you're saying before you say it. In light of that, I would say that our speakers today did a great job at that. In particular, Viviana, using the words nurture and funnel, that was impressive to me. And for Therese, analogy, that was terrific. But overall, I think we all need to practice slowing down, separating our words, ending sentences, and being better understood. Thank you.
Thank you, Angie. While Angie was listening, our watcher, Lou Brown, was watching. What did you see, Lou?
Thank you, Mr. G.E. I noticed there were no distracting backgrounds, which I really appreciated. I see many folks out there using screens, green screens, blue screens. I particularly noted Dagmar's use of a screen early on. I don't see it now, but at the very beginning, it was a much darker screen with sort of a halo around your face. And it just was very eye-catching. I'm not sure what you use, but kudos to you for that. Lighting, overall looks great. I can see everyone. There are some people that are washed out like myself. I can't do anything with this lighting. Sorry, folks. Not yet anyway. I'm working on it. Some folks are a little darker, but you know what? Overall, I can still see everyone's face, note expressions, and so forth. Again, overall, no distracting gestures, anything like that. Mr. G.E.
All right. Thank you very much. Our chat monitor was Sunny. What was going on in the chat, Sunny? Is that correct?
Norman?
I'm
Go ahead, Norman.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed a change of command.
That's okay. As a chat manager, there was a lot of technical support because of some issues that people were having. So we were supporting each other technically. And one of the things is that Roger has offered to give a demonstration of our website afterwards for those, so that we are a little better equipped to handle some of the peculiarities of our website if we're Toastmaster of the Day. We thank you, Roger, for that. There also was an awful lot of encouragement, and this club seems to continually encourage one another with the chat as the speeches are going on. Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator.
All right, excellent.
Okay.
Andy, what were you going to say?
I saw the timing report that Peggy put on the chat box.
Okay, so I think we're in good shape there. And I'm afraid we do have to hear from the eye counter, however.
Thank you, General Evaluator. reviewing the odd counter, and as I mentioned previously, I do have the saved under our club if you use the mobile application for Toastmasters. So for our prepared speeches, Viviana, there were a couple ahs. There were a lot of ums, about 13 of those. As Angie mentioned earlier, slowing down, becoming more comfortable with pausing will probably help to alleviate and lessen the amount of ahs, so's, and you knows. Therese, I noticed one 2 so's. For our table topics, Roger is all clear. There was no filler words. Rolando, there was 1 so and 1 other, which is like. Carol, for your table topics, there was 1 of each, 1 1 so, which is awesome. Dagmar, there was 1 For our evaluations, Ryan, you had 2 ums, and the other was, you mentioned is like, so I just included that. It's just a process. You're just thinking of what to say. And Lois is all in the clear. That is the odd report. Back to you, General Evaluator.
All right, thank you. General remarks on the meeting. I think we pulled it together today, despite some misadventures along the way. The odd counter has an opportunity to maybe mention things that some of the other reports might have missed. Peggy, one thing I noticed as that maybe the watcher might have mentioned was that when you were holding up the pieces of paper, I guess they're colored pieces of paper, often on the webcam it doesn't come through what color that is. We can't tell green from yellow. I could tell when you held up the red that it was red, but the first couple I couldn't really tell. And so this has definitely come up before. It's good to find low-tech ways of doing the job, but see, I can see them now. But when you were showing them during the speech, I could not tell the difference. So it's just a trick of the lighting and the technology that we all should be aware of, and we cope with it as best we can.
You can have fun with fruits, Peggy.
Yeah.
Orange, lemons.
That's right. Yeah, was it Angie who did that one time? Was that little fruit? Maybe that was a different speech. But anyways, the red has come over me, and so Andy, you're back in business.
Okay. As David likes to say towards the end of the meeting, we'd like to hear from those guests that experienced this for the first time. I know Rose said that she was a guest. Can I hear what you had to think about our meeting?
Hello. Yes, I just unmuted myself. Well, thank you very much for allowing me to join this first Toastmaster online meeting. It's an honor. I'm actually very impressed, especially with 40 of us. I think today we have 40 people.
20.
Oh, 20, I'm sorry. I lost counts. So there are 40 members, but 20 people showed up. Got it. And it's because this is the first time, I am feeling there are a lot of moving parts, especially there's also the chats on the side, which is not typical, especially in live meetings. And so I've been just really have to watch for the group chats when I have to vote, whereas coming back to this face-to-face technology, although I am very familiar with Zoom, but I have never had a organized Toastmaster meeting in this format. So it's inspiring to know that this can actually work out and be able to accommodate the needs of most of us who are all over the world to be able to gather together and still be able to share our love for speaking. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Rose. Are there any other guests that are not already members? I think we got everybody covered.
Mary Lou.
Mary Lou, if you can unmute yourself and say hello, that would be great.
Okay.
You know what? Mary Lou, are you? I believe she was having trouble with the technology not working. She's on a.
Her microphone is on. Mary Lou, can you say?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
Sorry, Mary Lou. The audio is through. So we say hello to.
Can you mute that?
Okay.
I hear an echo.
Okay, everyone's been muted. If anyone wants to go back on, you can unmute yourself.
She says, hi, I'm unmuting myself, but it's not working. Thanks for a great meeting.
Okay, thank you. Samson, you want to share anything with us?
Yeah, this is going good. Samsung. The only sharing I used the cell phone, and it worked pretty good, except for the little pieces of on chatting and things that you need to write down. But it worked pretty good. I was surprised. That's my takeaway.
Okay. Well, if you want more information and to join the club, we have people like Lois that can help you with the membership and get you signed up. And we look forward to seeing you next week again. As David mentioned, from time to time.
I've been in the club for like it's been like 6 months now. It's like I just don't come that often because the technology is killing me. But
we look forward to seeing you each and every week that we meet.
Okay.
Andy, if you can hand the controls back to Roger so he can talk about the extra meetings and such before we run out of time.
Now,
just formally, if you could.
Thank you very much, Andy, for being our Toastmaster of tonight. Let's quickly jump over to Jim Barber. Jim, would you please announce the winner of tonight, please?
With pleasure, Roger. It's posted in the chat, but for anybody that hasn't seen it, our best speaker this evening was Therese, our best evaluator was Lois, and our best table topics presenter was, I don't know. I think, look, I'm not sure on that one. It's somebody. Roger, I think it was. Congratulations.
Roger.
Thank you very much, Jim. To conclude, I have two quick comments. Number one, if you would go ahead and save the chat box, you will see two links in there. Number one, David Carr have put in a link that you can use to promote our special meeting in February. That is February 4th. It's going to be on video editing. It's our regular meeting time, but you can use that link to promote it and reach out to any of your friends that would like to check us out. Along with that, because we're not going to have speeches for that meeting, it's a special workshop. I'm asking to see if any one of you would like to have an extra meeting sometime during that meet, because we have so many people that our speaking spot is hard to come by. The second link that you see there from doodle.com, you don't need to register or have an account. Click in there. It's a polling website. It just shows a few dates. Go click on the check box on the dates that you like to use to join. Then once we decide it, I will make an announcement if we will have an extra meeting or not.
Roger, where is that access? Because I don't see anything about Doodle on my boxes.
I just posted another one in the chat box. So go ahead and save the chat box if you need to, or the link is right there. Is there any other dying announcements? Hearing none. Meeting adjourned. Good night. Goodbye. And if those of you have a few more minutes, like to stick around, I will do a quick demo of our website. For the rest, see you next week.
Therese, I just wanted to touch base with you. If you wanted to chat later about the evaluation, I'm happy to. If you're good with it, I've already emailed it.
You did an awesome job, and I really appreciate the ideas, and I am so glad you're my evaluator because I always get some really, really great input. Thank you.
Oh, well, you're most welcome, because I was kind of nervous on that, trying to figure out a way to spruce it up, so I'm glad it helped.
It was great. And the actual speech was, I should have said it a little more clearly. It was supposed to be a report on how I motivated others, not to motivate the club. But I really like how you made a twist on that so that it could be both and it could make engaging to everybody else. That was really good.
Well, you did an awesome job coaching from 1 to 16.
Oh,
Congrats.
thank you. Thank you. Well, you did an
Right.
awesome job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent job there. I have just clicked on screen share, and hopefully you are seeing our website. Once you log in, and if you're not logged in, somewhere in here it says you can log in. You can click on the meeting dates here on the right-hand side. Right now is on January 14th, today's meeting. So if this is the top page, you can see who's doing what. But under here, sign up. You can sign up for other meetings, agenda. Hover over agenda, and you will see speech introduction. And it will pop up a new page. These are the details that our speaker can enter into. It does not show on the front page. The front page only show the key items like what project they're working on. That's it. But the introduction page right here will show, for example, Therese and what Viviana had put in. This helps whether it is our evaluator who verbalizes or our Toastmaster of the day will give a clear introduction to the speech, depending if there's any kind of setup that would be in here. So that is one function you could do. I'm not going to go through a lot of detail, but you can see that you can go in and print and basically just print a version or email it. You can show it, speech introduction. These scoreboards, dashboards are stuff that David had put in for like contests, for example. When we're doing contests, there are more things, online timer that you can use. Therefore, I would encourage you to jump in here and look at some of these. There's no way you can delete anything because David always will back it up because I mess these up all the time. But it's in here. All right, so that's just what I want to share with all of you. If you want to enter, if you are the speaker, you can click in here and you can start updating your introductions and things like that. Any questions? Hearing none, I'm going to stop sharing. And if there's any other functions that you can think of, which I really doubt, you can always send it over to David because David already thought through a million things that is on that website that I have no idea how to do. With that said, I think Carol was just saying bye.
I have a quick question.
Yes, Lois.
This is actually for Sunny, and it's not on the website, but I went in on Zoom. Where do you actually get your picture from? Because I think you said that you get that from a background in Zoom.
What do you mean picture? You mean the background that Sunny has?
Yes.
Okay,
She has
so
to upload it. But go ahead.
you can, there's a place, I guess, if I don't know if I screen shared if it would show, but the up arrow next to video, it comes with these. If you go in right now and do a virtual background, these are the ones that come with Zoom. This one is one that I uploaded. So if you have any graphics, and I get most of my graphics from Canva, canva.com, which maybe David will talk about, but that's one of my favorite backgrounds because if you put in a keyword, I've got like 10 backgrounds that I use from time to time in my other meeting. So if you do it right now, Lois, can you just click virtual background? I think Jacinta also had this one up today. I think she may have had that one. Yeah,
is that underneath video settings, Sunny?
No. So it is under where it says stop video. Click the up arrow and it should say choose a virtual background. If it doesn't, it may be because you have to upload to the latest software, someone told me, because all of a sudden last week, wow, I could do a virtual background in Ring Central and I could not before.
But you have to be logged into Ring Central first because I was running late.
Let me give you the 30-second version of the answer.
Okay.
This is something that both Ring Central and Zoom has a little bit of issue because they name two different places with the same name. The name is settings. When you have a little pop-up, a little app on your desktop of Ring Central or Zoom, and it'll say settings, you cannot turn on your virtual background from that button. You have to use the browser to log into Ring Central And in that back admin portal, you can turn on the virtual
background.
Then you have that ability right now. I have the yellow page in the back that I can use. Therefore, you can check out our latest blog post on our website, which I have a video up, walk you through every single step to turn that on. And Jim has it in the background. He used it. He ran into the same problem because there's 2 places that you can get to settings, but they go to 2 different places. Same label, but 2 different things. Got it?
So Roger, you have a dictated way of going to the virtual thing? Because when I go to my camera...
Number 1, you need a Ring Central account.
Right.
It's free. Go in there and sign up. Well, if you need the instruction, go to our blog and our website. Number 2, you log into your Ring Central account on the browser, go through it, the admin portal, turn on this function called virtual background. Then you can get to what Sunny mentioned, that little up arrow to the right of the stop video. Once you click it, there's a new line. Click it. There are some default images that you can use, or you can upload images. Like right now, you can see that I have my branding here at rogerfung.com, and I've got yellow in the word. And this is something that go back to what David said earlier. You can use words in your timer card. Even if you don't have the right colors, you can say, hey, it's yellow, it's green, it's red, so on and so forth. All right?
Yes, thank you so much. Sorry to keep everybody.
No problem. Any last questions before we close?
No, and thank you, David, for showing us exactly where the blog is.
All right, take care.
I'm going to go play
guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.